Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of the Dan Gets Rich Endurance Sports Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February the 8th, and this is season number 3, episode number 18, or as we like to call it, episode number 102. Please follow us on our social medias at Dan Gets Rich on the Instagram and Facebook, and please hit that subscribe button on whatever platform you consume your podcast. My name's Richard Parks, and I'm here with my favorite co-host, Daniel King Dan Cole. How you doing, Dan?
Good, man. What's going on with you, Rich? It's a little chilly here in Florida, huh?
Oh, I'm bundled up. I'm in my house, bundled up. I just took a beanie off, and I had a beanie on. I was like, that would look ridiculous, like we're in the frozen tundra.
Although, did you see the weather coming through in like Oklahoma, Texas, mid U.S., man? They're just getting hammered out there. I was like, I don't even know. Are they prepared for that? All their pipes have got to be bursting, right? Do they get it? Does it normally get that cold there? I don't know.
I think it does. One of the I drove to Denver one time, and coming back going through Oklahoma, the snow was blowing sideways. They closed the highway. They said you can't drive anymore. You got to get off here. And when I got off there, there was one hotel, and they were gouging you for whatever they could get you for. And they said, and you can't bring your dog in. I go, that's not happening. My dog's going in the hotel. I'm not going to leave my dog out here to get buried in a snow drift in my car. That's not happening. So the dog went in. Needless to say, I carried him right past the people at the front desk. But yeah, it gets cold there, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. So, although we just had, as you know, probably one of the biggest weekends here in Jax Beach as far as endurance sports. They just had the Donna 26.2, only marathon dedicated to breast cancer awareness this weekend. And man, I don't think conditions could have been much worse. I don't know. It was chilly. It was very windy, sustained winds. I think were about 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 40. When you see the stop signs and they're blowing back and forth, it's a little windy. Then it started raining, and you had a little bit of everything out there. So, for those people that competed out there, I saw Janine out there. She looked great while she was running by. She was happy, and I don't know if that was because she was at like mile 2.5 when I saw her. So she had been running into a headwind, and she probably had about another 4 miles of headwind. But then when I saw her coming home, I think her smile was even bigger because she had a tailwind of about 40 miles an hour that was blowing her down the street.
Yeah, she had the tailwind, and I know you saw she was pushing an adaptive racer and in a chair. So when she was going against the wind, obviously there was a lot of effort there. But when she got to turn around, they got the wind going behind them. The chair was a sail, and they just boogied right on down. But watching the people coming back in the marathon, the full marathon, and just leaning into the wind coming down the beach, and right there at the pavilion, it's open and there's no protection from the wind, and those people are just getting buried. So good on everybody that raced, good on everybody that got out there. And I tell you what, we can have conditions go from 85 degrees for that race in February to what we had.
Well, yeah, we also had it 85 degrees on Friday.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Sunday comes and the conditions are, flipped upside down. But it was so impressive watching those people. So the people that were running the full marathon, and again, I don't know how many people actually ran the full marathon. It looked like the majority of the participants were running the half. But you got the elite runners out there who absolutely, just coasting through. They look so effortless when they're running into the wind. So for the people that were running, I think you ran like straight 6 miles north or something. Then you turned around. You had a tailwind for like the next 13 miles or 12 miles. And then the last miles, which are the hardest, 18 through 26, you're straight back into that hefty headwind. And the winner, Chris McCaffrey, who's a local here to Jacksonville, man, ran a 2:35. Man, good on him. That was a pretty impressive performance in those conditions.
Yeah, local guy, good for him. I think it was the second time he's won it, 2 times in a row, maybe. Do you know him? Are you friends with him?
Yeah, I do know him.
He seems like somebody. He seems like somebody you would know. I look at him, I go, "This is somebody who Dan probably knows."
I know him, but he's too fast for me. The only time I would ever be near him is at the starting line. That's it, and then I would never see him again.
Sure, of course, we know that. We know that. I did
And
see
yeah, go ahead.
Megan Murray finished first amongst the women. I think she was third overall. Also, I think I saw that she was also third overall winner.
She was so far ahead of every other woman runner. I mean, and there were some good women's runners out there, and yeah, I mean, just
let me ask you something.
Effortless, it's unbelievable.
So let me ask you something. A few years ago, the Donna Run was considered a Boston qualifying type of race, wasn't it? Like it was a fast race, a fast course.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they've changed the course, if they've changed. It seems like when it comes around in my neighborhood, it zigzags like a snake. It makes every turn. That can't be a fast course. So once it gets up here in Atlantic Beach, it just zigzags and turns in every street and goes back up another street. It doesn't seem like it's a fast course since they've changed it. Every single year they change it, of course.
It'd be tough to get into a rhythm for sure. Yes, when you're going back through the neighborhoods, and especially like this year. And I'm sure not having the race last year or having it virtual for the last 2 years really hurt it. But I'm like, I don't even know how many people. Again, I was not up by where the turnarounds were, so I wasn't sure how many people would actually be out of their house. You're probably running by yourself out there for the majority of the time with a lot of thoughts to yourself. And yeah, when it zigzags, it's tough to get into that little rhythm and get your cadence going. But, once you head back south and you get out of those side neighborhoods, I think you got a straight shot. You can get there. But that's a tough course. I was telling Scott, I was like, I don't think I really enjoy running that route. I think they need to change it, but I don't know what they would change it to.
They changed it again this year. I mean, it started from the Sea Turtle, or the old Sea Turtle, whatever it's called now, One Ocean last year, maybe the last couple of years. And then now they started down at the Seawalk Pavilion. It used to start from over there at the Mayo Clinic. And I think the beef with that was it kind of crossed that bridge. Twice out and back. So, I don't know why they keep having to change it. I don't know what the dynamics are there.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if it's because you're crossing from Jacksonville Beach into Neptune Beach into Atlantic Beach, and there's, obviously, there's politics that go into everything.
Yeah, it goes.
So I don't know if that plays into it at all.
Who knows? And I did see that they had one finisher. They run a 110 ultra race that runs the entire day before, and then the premises they kind of run the marathon, the last 26 miles in the Donna Marathon. And they had one finisher for the ultra. Dawn Listenby from Flagler Beach down here and I think they had like 35, 40 people started and had one finish.
That is really impressive because in the middle of the night on Saturday, I woke up and I was like, it is pouring rain right now.
It was pouring rain in about 48 degrees, 46 degrees, something like that. So
I think the real feel was down into the 30s. And not only are you battling those conditions, everybody else drops out. You're by yourself. How miserable is that? Through the middle of the night, you're just logging miles by yourself.
Yeah, so I'm sure that wasn't a very nice experience. It's probably not a good run, ultra run anyway. It's all on pavement. It's all on pavement, so you're not getting any help for the wear and tear on your knees. And then I can imagine how lonely it was at 2 a.m. when the wind was just gusting and she's going down Park Terrace Road down there when nobody's out. Anybody that is out at that hour is probably ready to hit you in their car. They're probably coming from ragtime or something.
I know. What do you even do? Like, you are obviously you're frozen throughout the night. You're trying to make it through the miles. You're soaking wet, and then all of a sudden you start the marathon and the wind's just blowing even harder. I mean, it doesn't make for a very pleasant experience for sure. So,
No.
Rich, you got somebody that just said they love you. Mitzi Chuck Neil Gaylor on
Oh, Mitzi
Facebook
Gaylor.
just reach out there. So,
Hi, Mitzi Gaylor. Yeah, we saw her at the end of the race the other day. Got to talk to her quite a bit.
Very good, very good. It is.
It was even. I didn't race, and I went down there and met Janine afterwards, and it was cold just standing out there. Standing outside was cold for me. I was miserable. I didn't even run.
Is it worse spectating because you're not moving? Like I was out there watching, and I was absolutely miserable. And then I told myself, I was like, as soon as it starts really raining, I'm out.
Where were you guys? Where did you set up?
We were right there by right by One Ocean, right there on the corner.
Okay.
And we were out there, I want to say for like 2.5 hours or so. And then I was like, I'm good here.
Yeah, I've had enough. No, I didn't. I wasn't even out. I was home in the warmth and comfort of my house. And Janine called me at one point in time, and she was up in Ocean Walk. And like I said, she was pushing one of the adaptive riders, and they had a flat tire in their their cart there. I don't even know what it's called. Then had a flat tire, and she asked me if I would bring a bike pump because they've got the little fancy attachments just like your TT bike. And so I grabbed the bike pump and kind of reversed my way back up and tried to find them, and they got the tire pumped up, and then I was back home in the warmth and comfort until they were done, and then I went and met her a little while later. So
that was very nice of you, wrapped up in your little blankets and comfy sweatpants and sweatshirts. And
I literally had my pajamas on. Riding my e-bike back against the course so I didn't have to work or pedal or do anything.
There you go.
Yeah,
I think it was, if you're running, you get your heart rate up. I'm sure you warm up pretty quickly. We're just standing out there being cold the entire time. So I don't know about that, but but good on everybody else to go out there and run that race. I mean, it's one of those early season races, and you get a lot of people from out of town that come in for that event. I mean, obviously I wasn't up the whole thing, but I would have liked to see more people out there. I mean, people kept asking, Dan, you going to put the tent out there? I was like, man, that thing's going to be in the ocean.
Blow away. No, it was actually a pretty good turnout. Like I said, I rode backwards through the Atlantic Beach area and all those zigzags I was riding. And there was a couple streets, especially like Fifth Street and Atlantic Beach. They bring their A game for everything. This street is rocking. If you can afford to live on Fifth Street, you should go find and you like to have a good time. Go buy a house right over there. Those guys do it up right. Halloween, they put on a good show. Anything that has to do with Fireball, they're in.
Well, I mean, Fireball cures everything, right? You get that nice little warm sensation down the middle of your chest when it's flowing down there. You don't even realize what's going on. You know what the crazy thing was?
This episode brought to you by Fireball.
So we're standing out there spectating, and I can't even remember who did it, but all of a sudden, nips of Fireball are being thrown at us, and they're like, "This is going to warm you up." I'm like, "You're running. Why are you carrying Fireball?"
What's a nip of Fireball?
A little shot.
Those are called nips?
I don't know. I guess so. I always call them nips.
I didn't know if it was a Massachusetts thing.
It might be. If you've never heard of it and you've lived in the South for your entire life. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a stupid redneck from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not wrong. Not me. Yeah. I'm not wrong. Nobody's arguing this point. Oh, it's good stuff.
You know what the crazy thing is? At the Donna, they usually have a pretty spectacular finish line and after party and everything. Nobody was going to that. You finish, you hopped in your car and you left. There was no chance.
Like I said, I went up there and met Janine afterwards, and I was kind of concerned about parking because it's down there at the Seawalk Pavilion, and that parking can be a cluster when nothing's going on. It can be crazy when nothing's going on. And literally, I took a right, took a left, and it was like front row spot. I was like, oh, these people are out. These people are gone. There's spots everywhere. Nobody's hanging around here. The guys at the beer tent were lonely. There was no participation in that.
There was nobody there. And it was funny. We did our team picture by the lifeguard station right in the morning. And as we're driving up, this guy's like, I'll just park me off here. She brought her mountain bike and she's like, I'll just ride it. And I was like, let's just see how close we can get.
Yeah.
I literally navigated through. I parked in the roundabout right at the lifeguard station for the photo. It was amazing.
VIP, rock star. Dan gets his rock star parking.
Then I decided I need to go, and the cop pulled up, and because all the streets were blocked off. And
he's working overtime. He doesn't care. He's getting us. What do they get it for overtime? What do they get for overtime work?
Oh, I guarantee you they're making $100 an hour at least.
No, you think so?
Yes. Yep.
I'm
well, you have detailed duty.
No,
you have detailed duty, which pays more, and then you're getting overtime on top of that.
No, I think they hire them, so I think they get an hourly for that, for an event. I'll bet it's like 56 an hour.
I think they're getting more than that.
We need to call somebody. I'll message somebody.
Text Elizabeth Kenny. Ask her.
Elizabeth Kenny. Yeah, she will. I won't mess with her right now.
She knows.
But she doesn't work. She works some details. I've seen her to work some things. Yeah, I've seen her work some of those things. I was saying she probably doesn't. She's getting ready to retire, I would think.
Yeah, it's the
life
anyway. I know you were out there at Donna, but did you watch? And I know you're into the golf. Did you watch any of the Pebble Beach this weekend?
I watched maybe 2 holes of it. I didn't watch hardly any of it. Something else. Oh, you're gonna laugh at me. The NASCAR racing. They were in the track at the Coliseum.
Did you see what they called it? They called it Clash.
They did. They called it Clash. I saw that.
Like,
I noticed
of course
that.
they did.
I totally forgot about that. I was going to say something.
Oh my God.
The branding there.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my God, Bill Christie knew exactly what he's doing. He's definitely getting you in the NASCAR on that way. That was crazy.
Did see that.
I didn't watch any of that race, but they were racing on a 1/4-mile track.
Oh my gosh, they're just going around circles as hard as they could. Most of the drivers weren't even switching gears. They weren't even going. They were just running. I guess they're running second gear. I don't even know. They run first gear the whole way. I don't even know. But they said they were getting up to 130 miles an hour on the straight.
Man, so I mean,
dropping down to 60 on the turn?
I mean, how are you passing anybody? You have 2 cars wide. And you're on a 1/4-mile track. So what do you have? You have like a 1/10 of a mile to go straight.
They were just kind of nudging each other into the corner. So once you got your wheel inside the other guy's wheel going into the corner, you kind of had, prime position there. So you kind of, and as they would race out of the corner, it was I liked it. It was fun. There was a lot of, obviously short track like that. They're going to bump and grind, but it was fun. I thought it was kind of just a novelty race. They said the drivers seemed to have a good time with it. I thought they acted like it was something different. They had a blast.
I mean, yeah, anytime it's got to be fun to do something different. I saw, obviously it was at the Coliseum, and they said when they brought in, so they put a tarp over the field, and then they put, I think it was they plywood down, and then they brought in all the dirt. And then they brought in the asphalt and brought it in just for that race. And I'm sure they were going to tear it apart. The track looked like it had been there for years. I mean, the pavement looked unbelievable. It looked smooth. I mean, obviously, if you're running a NASCAR event on that, how long do you think that took to put together?
I can't imagine. And I'm sure they said, I wasn't paying close enough attention to pick that up, but I can't imagine. I thought the same thing. I was like, they've got to tear this track up, right? I mean, there's going to be chunks of asphalt flying, you would think. And it held up perfectly. Held up perfectly. And, they can't fix the pothole in front of my house.
When they take apart that track, just have them mail you some asphalt, Rich, and you could just go out there and do it yourself.
It's just a little piece. All I want is that little piece to fix that pothole.
This is what you should be able to do, Rich. On a weekend, you should be able to send an email to the city, say, I need 5 yards of asphalt, and I'm just going to go fill some potholes that annoy me in my neighborhood, and I'm going to go do it, and I'll take care of it for you. Just give me the asphalt.
I've got a tamper. I'll go out there and just tamp it. Yeah, that was my tamping. That was my tamping.
Don't you two-fist the champ it
Oh,
down
what are we
with
talking about, Dan? What are we talking about? Come on, two fists. Look at me. I'm a little skinny guy.
Anyway, going back to golf, we got off
Yeah, tell me
on a big
about
tangent.
golf instead of me
No,
two
so
fisting.
yeah, it's Pebble Beach weekend. So two things. Since you were watching NASCAR, you probably didn't see the Jordan Spieth shot on hole 8 on Saturday.
No.
So he hits, Pebble Beach is right along the coastline, right?
Correct.
Big drop off down to the beach.
Correct.
He hits his ball on hole number 8. He's about a foot away from the edge of the cliff. In the penalty area, it's red.
In the red.
Yeah, so you can't ground your club when you're going to hit it. Most people would have taken a drop on that. He gets up, literally, the ball is 1 foot, so and when you swing, all your weight's going over. He is literally looking over the edge of the cliff, which is 90 feet high.
Oh my God! Really?
I swear to God,
put a rope around him and tie him up or something?
No, he was on his own. Hits the shot and immediately, didn't do a follow through. Just kind of leaned back, to make sure he wasn't going off the cliff. I mean, it was the most unbelievable thing I ever seen. He almost put it on the green, put it just over the back of the green. I mean, definitely, if you haven't seen this, Google Jordan Spieth Pebble Beach shot. It's unbelievable. The next day they showed on the telecast, they had one of the, I can't remember, I don't know if it was a blimp or they just had a drone over there. But looking down, I'm like, it was so high and so steep. I would have been sick looking over the edge of that thing. I don't know how he concentrated to hit that shot.
Yeah, you would think they would at least let the caddy hold on to his waist or something. You know what I mean? Just for safety, just kind of pull him back in.
The rope would have been a good idea.
Just throw a belt around him or something. Grab this guy. He's going to die trying to, try not to get a bogey on a par 4, or whatever.
What would they have done if he had hit that shot and fallen? Like, it's real time. I mean, boom, you automatically switch to a commercial. I mean, I don't know.
No, you follow him down. Ratings are spiking. Ratings are going through the roof. We've got Spieth down.
Spieth would have gone down. Man, that was legitimately, they interviewed him after, and he's like, well, it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do.
Somebody's bringing out repelling gear. You got one of those guys that are repelling down with one of those baskets, like you see them in California that they do. They got those baskets repelling down. We got to get a dog out of the ravine,
So then the other portion of that is they had a tournament over in Dubai, and Dubai was actually paying all these tour players to skip Pebble Beach and go over there and compete. I don't know. Typically, like when Tiger was out in his heyday, they were paying him $1 million appearance fee just to show up, and then whenever he won. So, and I guess apparently they offered Bryson DeChambeau to a substantial amount of money to quit the tour, join whatever tour this was over there, and basically give up on the PGA Tour. Substantial amount of money. And the PGA Tour came back and said, if you accept this offer, you'll be banned for life.
So they're putting down the gauntlet there. They're saying us or them, there's no free market there. You're going to play for us or you're not going to play at all.
Yeah, I mean, they've, the European Tour's been out there, for a long time, but they don't really compete against each other. I think this is the first time that a tournament's really gone head to head and say, we want these players to come over here. And of course, Abu Dhabi's got all the money in the world. Yeah, they could throw.
I like how you say Abu Dhabi. Say it again.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. I think I'm going to Dubai. If I had the choice, if I'm Bryson, why did they want Bryson? Is he just because he's a character, because he's who he is? I don't know. Is he just?
I don't know. He reminds me of like a blockhead frat boy. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, probably because he hits the ball a long way, swings as hard as he can every single time. People like to see how far people can hit. I don't know. That's
I wonder why the Asian have a that would be the guy that they would pick. I don't know.
I don't know either. But there was a lot of sports going on too. I mean, did you watch any of the NHL Skills Challenge?
Of all the things I would watch anytime, that would be the one I wouldn't watch.
Really?
The
So
NHL?
yes, I'm a baseball guy. Love
Yes.
baseball, number one sport. But
We're talking hockey here.
the NHL All-Star
Uh,
Weekend Skills Challenge is probably the best out of any sport, even over the Home Run Derby. The Skills Challenge is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I have seen this before. I didn't see this year. I have seen it before. That they can, they definitely can highlight some pretty crazy abilities.
It's amazing. You don't realize how fast they're skating
Mhm.
when they're actually doing it. The accuracy that they have, the hardest shot. So, like what goalies are facing, these guys are hitting 100+ miles an hour and they can jack it from wherever as close as they want. But the cool thing that they did, it was out at in Vegas this year. So outside of the Bellagio, they out in the fountains, they had the
Okay.
NHL players out there doing a accuracy contest. So they had little sections set up and they had to shoot pucks into these little areas. It was pretty cool. I mean, you're out in the Bellagio where it's shooting. I mean, it's kind of a unique thing
Were they
that
on
they were
ice?
doing. No, they were just standing out there.
Okay.
Yep. But
That kind
I
of.
mean, it was pretty fun. I mean, as far as, and again, as far as competitions, the only thing that the NHL lacks, they, the the interviews were absolutely terrible, and there was no in when you were when they were the interviewees were terrible and the interviewers were terrible. I mean, that's what needed to change as far as that. But other than that, great.
So you're saying that the average all-star hockey player isn't a very good linguist.
Or doesn't have good personality. They were answering the
Yeah.
questions, but they were just kind of monotone,
Yes.
and they were like, "Yes,
Yes.
this was very
Yes.
I'm just
Hey,
happy to be here."
we just talked about some NASCAR. One of the things that they do very well is they teach their drivers how to talk for those interviews because they're trying to promote their brands that are sponsoring them. So you watch even these youngest kids, they come out off of a dirt cart or something like that, and somebody sticks a microphone in their face, and they can ramble off and speak for fairly well. So somewhere along the line, they're teaching these kids how to talk. And I guarantee you, none of those guys are any smarter than those hockey players. They're probably right in there in the same.
What they should do is
I know.
when you get into the
Just
NHL,
above
I like
primate.
that.
Just above primate level.
When you do that and you go and you get drafted and you're going into a professional sport, they should have a couple week-long seminar when you go through and how to manage your money, who you keep in charge, what you do with the like
Who you hang around with.
Who you hang around with.
Yeah.
All of these things. I mean, Alvin Kamara gets arrested the day after the Pro Bowl this past weekend because he goes and fights somebody in the nightclub the night before the like. What are you doing? I'm like,
what are you doing?
Jesus, God.
I know the NFL has a program. So when they come in, the rookies come in. I know the rookies come in. They get have a program where they have somebody come and talk to them about how to handle their money, how to leave their homies back at home, and how to do things and try to get them on the right track. But it's hard. It's hard. You got people that are. A lot of people lived with with very few means, and all of a sudden they have lots of means. They've got means and means, and now you've got means coming out your ears, and it's hard to handle, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you take someone 18 years old, 20 years old and say, hey, you never had money before. Here's a couple $1,000,000, or you get your first paycheck and it's $150,000 for a week. And you're like, oh,
wow.
I could do a lot of stuff with this.
I'm going to the nightclub and I'm beating up the bouncer.
I just don't get.
I didn't watch the Pro Bowl, but I heard it was atrocious.
The Pro Bowl is the word. This is the problem with the NFL. Nobody wants the
problem with the NFL.
With the Pro Bowl, nobody wants to get hurt. So you're wearing pads and stuff, but nobody's hitting each other. Instead of doing, this is what they need to do. Instead of doing the game, screw the game. Don't even play the game. Have them do like combine stuff. I want to see how far you could throw the ball. I want to see accuracy contests. I want to see maybe you even have automatic quarterbacks and you bring in high school teams and they get to play flag football against each other or something like that. And you could have an NFL player throw you the ball. I want to see, how about a bench press competition? Let's do that. High jump things like, there was one year, a couple of years ago, they dropped a ball from a drone about 100 yards up and they were trying to catch it. Like things like that are fun and exciting to watch. I don't want to watch a horrific, horrible football game where nobody wants to hit each other. Nobody wants to do anything. It's terrible for TV. It shouldn't even be televised. It's awful.
Well, I like that. I like it, Dan. Hey, I'm right with you. Like I said, I didn't watch it, but obviously the media said it was terrible. You've got these guys, a lot of them, they're in the Pro Bowl. Some of them are free agents. You think they want to go out and blow a knee out, playing in a exhibition? Basically, it's an exhibition game right before they're going into free agency. No, some of these guys are writing $20 million a year checks for their free agency, and it's not going to happen. I'm with you. If anything, make it kind of the superstars, the old superstars thing, and let's have them run some obstacle courses against each other or something. Maybe a little tug of war at the end.
Tug of war would be awesome.
Yeah. Remember that? Do you remember the Superstars? You remember that? It was probably before your time.
Yes. No, yeah, I remember that stuff.
Like Tony Dorsett would just like wrap the rope around him and he was like the anchor. He'd tie it around him and like, they're not pulling me, That was good stuff.
They should do it more.
That's quality television, Dan.
They should. But you know what? Yes, I know they should. If you want to make it more interactive, I think you have people, year-long contests that you have that people can get in and you can catch passes or throw the ball to receive, whatever it is. Just make it a little bit more interactive for that. Nobody cares about that game. That's why they moved it from Hawaii, because nobody traveled out there to go to it. It's stupid.
Is it Orlando now? Is that where it is?
Well, they did it out. I can't remember where it was this year now.
I don't remember either. I didn't see.
No, they had it in Orlando. They had it in Orlando for a couple of years. You know what the stupidest thing was? So a couple of years ago, I was like, "Oh, they had the skills challenge the day before," and I was like, "It was in Orlando." I was like, "Let's go down and watch it." You had to be above like 18 years old to be able to get a ticket to go to it, and I'm like, nobody over 18 cares to go to that. It's all the people like 10 to 14 years old that would enjoy going to see that. It just didn't make any sense at all.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. All the way around, it's a terrible idea, right? You got these guys that some of them been off for a month, so if they're home getting fat, they're just eating everything they can eat. And then you go say, hey, come play another game. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Stop doing this. Stop.
Agreed. There's no reason to have the game. Get rid of the game. The game is terrible.
The Olympics are going on.
Yes. Have you been watching?
Have not.
Man,
we don't have television here. We're poor. We got to wind the TV up.
But you are on StreamYard right now, so you do have internet.
Correct.
So you could watch if you wanted.
Yes, we could. I did see some things that I took note of, and one of them was the lack of snow.
It's crazy how cold it is there, and all that snow is man-made. It's unbelievable. It's like -4 there.
So
no snow.
There's never snow there. Well, this is one of my 3 questions. I'll get to it. But there's never snow there. There's not snow there. There's not. Why are we awarding the Winter Olympics to a place that has no snow? What are we doing? Yeah,
all about the money, man.
You think we're not all owned by China? What are we doing?
Well, it was just like with the
there's
the
more
Summer
snow
Olympics.
in Oklahoma.
This is what they did.
There's no hills. Is there hills in Oklahoma? I don't know.
No, not in Oklahoma. No, but that was like
the hill.
That was like the Summer Olympics. They're like, what's the hottest place on the face of the earth during July? That's where we're going.
Let's go there.
The World Cup.
These?
I mean, the World Cup when they were in like Qatar a couple of years ago, and it's 130 degrees on the field. I'm like, what?
Guys are running down the field and they're spontaneously combusting. They're just bursting into flames. I guess we're playing 10 on 11. We just had another one.
No, I have been big into. So I have a couple issues with the Olympics. Why the hell does curling always get a primetime slot? Something that I could drink beer and compete in should not take prime time. Like, that drives me crazy.
Yeah, I did see the 4 people. I guess there's 4 people on the curling team. I did see a picture of them, and they definitely look like they just came out of Dave and Buster's. You know, they're playing skee ball. They won a shot. They won a spot on the Olympic curling team by playing skee ball in Dave and Buster's. You know, it's happy hour. They got the boneless chicken wings, and they got wing sauce on their face, and they just looked as much as athletic as I would look.
Well, Rich, you are very athletic, so don't sell yourself
right
short.
now. I've been on the IR list for a while.
No pickle put you on the IR?
For my physical trainer. Shout out to Brian from Cora, great guy. If you, I know that. Are we Coleman and Bachman?
We are Coleman and Bachman, so you can't.
Okay, don't go to Cora.
I'm just kidding.
Gosh, shout out to my great physical therapist at a place I will remain unsaid. But he's asked me to take a couple weeks off, and when somebody asks you to take a couple weeks off, all you want to do is not take any time off. But I've been trying to honor his request.
It's tough, isn't it? When it gets taken away from you. When it gets taken away from you, that's when you want to do it. You're like, man, I really miss that. And then you can do it again, and you're like,
Nah, I'm on like 16 text threads, for pickleball. It's unbelievable. And every one of them I've just had to put on mute, because we're going to play at 4:00. We're playing. People are playing downtown now.
You're like, don't talk to me right now.
On another note, Dan, I just have to mention this. Your hair looks fantastic.
Oh, you like that? I just got my haircut the other day, and
it looks fantastic. It really does.
I'm not a big fan of it. Look at it.
Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous, Dan. That's a good looking head of hair right there. That's that little cut on the side, the little angle thing going on. I like that. No,
that's just a receding. That's just a receding hairline right there.
Yeah, it's racing to the back, just like mine, racing to the back. Pretty soon you'll be all hats all the time, just like Richie Parks. All hats all the time. It does look good. It looks good. You're looking sharp over there.
Well, thanks. It's because it's fresh. In about a week, when it gets a little puffy on the sides, and then I get it back to be Scraggly Dan.
Scraggly Dan. Panda Dan.
Panda Dan. Anyway, going back to the Olympics, there's a couple things that I really enjoy watching.
Okay.
I love the cross-country skiing. That's probably my favorite to watch. So in essence, if I love that, I got to love biathlon too, right? Where they shoot halfway through.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I like I've been into the freestyle skiing and snowboarding.
Okay.
I was watching that. I like the giant, the Super G slalom, where they just absolutely hammer it down. I mean, they're going 80 miles an hour. I'm like, 80. I get scared at going down the hill at like 20
on a bike, right?
First of all, I don't even understand how so in like the Super G, they were saying a lot of people were falling, and you only get one run. That's it. You get one run and you're done if you don't make the finals. And so Michaela Schifrin, who was like, everybody was touting as like, oh my God, she's going to win all these gold medals. She's the next golden child. She's been on all the ads for USA. First, she gets 2 gates in and skis come off, wipes out.
Oh no,
boom, done. And I was like, oh my God, that's, but you don't.
So in the qualifying, they only get one time, or is it once?
No,
you get
one time.
You get one shot.
You get one time. That's it. You qualify. You had
one and
run.
done. One and done.
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. She had she was competing in other events, but she was done after that one run there, and she lasted 7 seconds into the race and was done. I mean, it's just making those decisions at 80 miles an hour. I mean, that's tough. I don't think I would enjoy doing that, but I like watching it.
I do too. It always amazes me. There's the only thing between them and perilous doom is like this fishing net. and they fly off into the fishing net and they get caught in it. They're like, yeah, like a salmon or something, and so there, and right over, past the fishing net is the cliff that Jordan Spieth almost went over, so it's just death is on the other side, and there's no snow over there. It's all just rock, so yeah, it's impressive. I've never been much of a skier. I've snowboarded a little bit, but watching those guys go so fast
it's crazy.
And then my hands wet.
It does, yeah. It makes it. The other thing that I was watching, this guy makes fun of me because she's like, "This sport is stupid," but I was into the luge and the skeleton. So the luge where you go down on your butt, the skeleton's where you're on your stomach going down. But again, you're going 80 miles an hour on a sheet of ice downhill.
So the skeleton is face first, head first, on your belly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you got to have some cojones for that one.
No doubt about it.
I'm not doing that.
So you're not doing that. Would you? Would you go down on your butt? On your back?
I think if it was just I had an opportunity to just crush my legs, maybe some spinal vertebrae or something, that would be better than my face hitting first,
But you have a little protective shield over you.
Oh, yes, the protective shield that you have as you're on the Skeletor doing 80 miles an hour into a solid block of ice wall here. So what could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. Nothing could go wrong.
So I assume they ease into that. You know what I mean? They're not when you're a young child, you start out sledding, and then you start out sledding head first, and then you start out on this bunny sled, and then they don't throw you right in. Do they? I mean, could you possibly just say,
I think you would need to learn. I think you would need to learn how to sled or do something first. Yeah.
We'll see at the bottom one way or another.
They just put you on the sled. They don't tell you where you're going, and they just push you and say, if you can make it,
you're on the team.
You get to go again.
No.
I don't want to go again.
I don't want to go again. This is terrifying.
The crazy thing, and I saw this on Yahoo Sports, the crazy thing about the Olympics are how little money they make. Most of the athletes that are competing in there said most of the money that they make is from a different job. They don't get paid to be out there. And I know for a long time they were amateur sports, but now you have professionals that are doing it. And it's unbelievable. Like some were saying that they were making less than $25,000.
So you've made the Olympic team in a sport such as Skeletor, and you've got to keep your newspaper delivery job to supplement your training.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, how much is the market for this sport? I mean, you're gonna watch it. No. You'll watch it to this week or whatever, however long it's going, and you'll forget about it. You won't think about it again until the next Olympics. You won't even cross your mind until the next
cross
Olympics.
my mind.
I won't. You're right. I won't. You're gonna lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the Skeletor race and those fractions of 1,000th of a second that guy should have shaved off. Yes, I got you. Okay, maybe you will. If he would.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You're relevant once every 4 years, which is why during that year, you have all these major sponsors. Now, I know they can't take all, we had 220 or 223 athletes go to the Winter Olympics. Now, obviously, you can't make all of them household names, but I think a lot of the sponsors could do a better job at helping them, give them a little personality on there, interact with them a little bit more, pay them to be in the ads. Like, I don't know. There's got to be some other way. They got to be able to make some money. You're relevant for 15 days out of 4 years? There's got to be a way you can make more money doing that.
Trying to do some math here.
Uh-oh. It says in the article, it says more than half of the U.S. Olympic hopefuls, or 59%, reported making less than $25,000 during the year of their respective Olympics. This was from 4,400 athletes by the U.S. OC and Paralympic Committee. For many athletes, about 1/3 of those polled making their living primarily through sponsorships and prize money, both of which were thrown into limbo throughout the pandemic. Blah, blah, blah. The other quarter of they rely almost entirely on employment unrelated to their sport.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the guys on the curling team working the one of the field guys at like a baseball game, rolling out the mats, or something like that. I can see that. Trying to
if you're in curling
during the summer.
If you're in curling, your sport shouldn't even be in the Olympics. So you should get a plane ticket there, and you probably work at the bowling alley spraying the shoes.
Bowling alley.
Come on.
Bowling alley. You hit the nail on the head. I was trying to think of what it was. I was trying to think of what their occupation would be, but you definitely hit that. They're definitely the bowling alley. I mean, they're bowling alley guys. Yeah.
They are definitely bowling alley guys.
Yeah. I bet all they eat is nachos and hot dogs.
The ones that just roll around. Have you ever been into like the 7-Eleven and been like, yeah, I need that hot dog at that moment?
It's one of those mistakes that you make, and you repent afterwards. You repent. I know. It's like the Taco Bell. I've got to have Taco Bell, and then you're like, oh gosh, what have I done? What have I done? This is a bad choice.
Taco Bell is always a bad idea after you make the decision and then you eat it and you have instant regret when you're like halfway through the taco and inevitably you're full on.
The only one worse than that was the Crystals.
Oh, yeah. Crystal burgers.
Crystals. Yeah.
That'll do it. Were you a sackful guy? You can eat a sackful.
Yeah, you get them all. You get them all.
Yeah.
How many can you make? How much can $11 get me? I want $11.
How many Crystal burgers do you think you could eat?
Right now, I could eat 6. Not maybe a little more, maybe 7 or 8. If you push me, probably, but not that many.
Okay.
I would think I'd be like,
What if there was?
I could do 6.
What if there was an amount of money that was worth it to you? Let's just say $1,000 is on the line. How many burgers could you eat?
Put another 2 zeros in.
2 zeros?
Yeah.
You're making me go to 100K? Jeez, this just got real.
I don't know. Could you eat 20?
I think you could eat 20.
Okay.
I think you might even be able to do 24.
What's the record? What's the Joey Bag of Donuts or whatever that guy's name? Joey Chestnut.
I don't know. Do we need to look it up?
No, that takes time. And we don't have that kind of time. Research.
We've been on for 48 minutes already. We don't have time for that.
No time for that. We did talk about curling, which we've talked about curling in multiple episodes. There was a time back in season 1 at the beginning where you and I were going to go downtown and join a curling league.
Yes, we
were in. I think you even looked it up and found it. It was 904 curl or something like that. I don't even know what it was. And we were on our way. We were signed up for Tuesday night curling lessons. And I guess that went by the wayside, like every other plan we have.
It did. We always have big plans while we're on the show. Immediately when we get off air, we forget about everything that we talked about. We need apparently we need someone to hold us accountable.
Follow-up person. We're taking applications for the Dan Gets Rich follow-up person.
This is what we need. We need someone to fact check us because we like to throw out great sounding stats, but they're never correct. And things that we say we're going to do, which we never follow up on. We need somebody to write down the things that we talk about and tell us what we need to be doing.
They are good intentions. I'm going to put it that way. We have good intentions. One thing I thought was funny was last week, Janine told me that her mother found out that she was doing Ironman Chattanooga because she listens to the podcast.
That's amazing.
She goes,
that's the only way I get knowledge on everybody.
She goes, that's the only way I get information about you guys is I have to listen to the podcast. And Rich spills the beans.
Yeah, my mom says the same thing. She goes, I learned so much about you every time I listen to the podcast. I'm like, really?
She can see how nice your hair is. She can see that nice haircut too.
Oh,
That's
then
a
she'd
nice
have to go on
haircut.
Facebook. She listens to us on Apple Tunes because she likes to listen to us while she works out.
Are we still on that one? Are we still do those? We still on the listening ones?
Yes, sir. We still
Okay.
do. I told you,
Anybody,
remember, I just pulled the
anybody
stats
listen?
and remember I told you, I said we had more people listen from Germany than we did from Jacksonville last week.
Jacksonville, get your shit together. The Germans are coming.
Apparently, last episode was big in Germany.
I'm big in Germany. I don't know if you know that. Oh, goodness.
How have we gone? We went 50 minutes and we haven't talked about anything endurance sports related. I think we're going to go the rest of the show without talking about it.
No, let's talk about Panama City, Ironman 70.3. Sam Crozier was back in the game, right?
He was back in the game, and so was his brother coming back off his broken clavicle, which he luckily had time to heal. Kudos to him, man. He broke his collarbone or clavicle at Daytona.
At
mile
Daytona
4
Clash?
At Clash. At mile 4 on the bike. He finishes the race, and that was his last one. So luckily he got some time off. Sam did Ironman Haines City after, which was in December, and I think that was the week after. Then he had time off, and this was their return back in. So Ironman Panama City, and I was told it was very hot there. Like 90 plus degrees there. And as you know, being here in North Florida, it's the last couple of weeks have been relatively cold. So for all the people that are outside of Florida and say 50 is not cold, 40 is not cold, yes, I understand. I'm saying relatively to what we typically experience. I know the people that are getting inundated with snow, and my parents are about, 3-4 feet deep in the snow right now, that they would laugh at us calling that cold. But for Florida, that is.
Yeah, so he went down there and raced. It was hot as the sun, and I think they swim in the Panama Canal, don't they?
I think so.
So what I understand, that's pretty neat. That's cool stuff. You ever been to Panama? Seen the canal?
I've never been. Is it
pretty? Yeah. It's pretty cool. Once you've seen it, you're one of those. It's like, okay, we've seen it. Well, it's pretty special how they can move such big ships through there, and there's no clearance from the side. The ships are made so they'll get through the Panama Canal. So they're canal ships, and there's like 6 inches on either side. So you've got this huge ship moving up and down with the water as they raise and lower the locks. There's nothing on the side. It's just whoop.
It's amazing how they raise the ships up to get, what do they do? They lock it, and then they have the dam, and then they fill it from below, and then they go to the next level and then up.
100%, Dan. You figured it out. You've figured them out. But you can look over here and see it one level, and look over there and see it another level. Boats are on a different level. It's pretty weird because you think water's going to be leveled out, but no.
Interesting.
But yeah, so good for them to get back in the game, and we talked about triathlon. There we go.
I am a little disappointed, though. I don't know what podcast it was. Just as you got on me about being interviewed on a different podcast, Sam was on another podcast. I thought we had exclusive rights to the Iron Fam. I was a little disappointed that he did another podcast.
Yeah, well, but we're not going to blacklist anybody here.
We need everybody we can get to come on our show.
Oh, yeah. I good for him. Get his message out there, whatever his message is, and get it in front of us. I'm sure they had more listeners. What podcast was it? Do you know? You said you don't know.
I don't know. And I don't really care, Rich. I don't listen to any other podcast except for ours. I couldn't tell you any other podcast that's out there anywhere in the world. Anywhere.
Sky could.
Oh, she loves podcasts. So every time she mentions a podcast, she's like, "This is my favorite." I said, "Except for the Dan Gets Rich podcast." Oh, but of course.
Ask her what her favorite is now and let me know, because I'm weeding them down. There's a million podcasts out there, and
she loves the Rich Roll podcast.
Yeah, I know she does, and I'm kind of
that's like her favorite. That's the one she always talks about.
Yeah, I'll have to check in on that one again because I haven't listened to that in a while. I get into the murder ones and the gruesome, like real life murder ones.
Oh,
I don't know why, but I'm fascinated by that. I don't know why. I've got some demented section of my life.
So I take it back. I have listened when we've been driving in the car. Sky will every once in a while put one of those murder podcasts on, which I kind of get into. But I couldn't tell you the name of any of the podcasts. I just
Yeah, it's a murder.
I don't care. I care about one podcast, ours. That's it.
Ours. That's it. Damn it. Well, we're making this a regular thing. This is like one every 2 weeks.
I know.
Not,
so here's the
what?
question, Rich. I think we should start season 4 because technically we would already be in season 4 as of our last episode, right?
I tried last episode and you gave me grief. You looked at me like I was crazy when I said season 4.
Oh, you said I didn't hear you say season 4.
Go back and listen to the beginning of the last one. You looked at me like I was crazy, which I should expect that. You look at me like I'm crazy half the time. You're looking at me like I'm crazy now. I'm like, what the hell?
All right. Next episode, we're making it season 4.
I think we're definitely into season 4, like it or not.
For sure. There's no doubt about it.
Episode 102.
That was this episode. Next episode is
103. I can count. I got that.
Right. Okay.
All right. Speaking of 3, do you have 3 questions?
I do.
Wow, that's pretty good. I have 2.
And a half, or just
I might be able to make it into 3.
I love it. You want?
I'll start.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll start. So we talked about the snowfall in Beijing. What do you think the average snowfall is in Beijing as per each winter? Average snowfall for the entire winter in Beijing, and this is over the last 4 decades. So don't try to give me your global warming stuff.
It's not a lot because every time, I mean, I'm just going by what the Olympics said, and they said it very rarely snows there. So I'm going to say, you said yearly snowfall?
Season, yes. So I would get
the
winter.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 8 inches.
You would be very, very close if you would have said millimeters, 7.9 millimeters. I don't know what that means. I think it's only about this big.
Or this big?
Really?
No. That little snow? I'm shocked. I mean, that's
7.9 millimeters of precipitation each winter. That's not much.
That's not a lot at all.
That's less than 8 inches.
That's a lot of man-made snow for the Olympics.
That could be my next question.
Oh, I can't
Go ahead.
wait. I can't wait for your next question. All right. This is way off subject, but I saw this ad the other day for Heineken 0.0. Are you in on a non-alcoholic beer? Do you drink just for the taste of beer, or
I do.
You
I
do?
like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I truly thought you'd say no on that.
No, I definitely like the non-alcs. I like the non-alc IPAs. There's some good ones out there.
Okay. All right.
So you're opposed to that?
I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know if I like the beer taste enough to just drink it and be like, "Oh, that was refreshing."
Yeah, I get that.
I do. But I do like a Sam Adams Cold Snap. I'm in on that.
So here's what I would say about that. If you're going somewhere and you're driving and you're in that environment, it's a good thing to for the host to be able to have that if you're having some people over, and then you don't feel like you're not drinking or you're not participating in the social norm of the party.
Rich, I'm not one of those people. You don't seem like one of those people that would be influenced by what other people do. You are the I don't give a shit.
No, I don't care what you think.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm just saying if there are people that would make them feel more comfortable. So I like the 0.0. I like that.
Okay.
One.
All right.
But there's some good ones out there.
Okay.
That was your question?
That was my first question.
Oh, okay. Would I like that? So we talked about the lack of snow. We talked about the lack of snow in Beijing. How many gallons of water do you think that they're planning on using to create snow for this Olympics? How many gallons of water have they set aside in a reservoir that this is what they're going to make snow with?
Oh man! So I know the the cross country ski route was 5K. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot they're doing there. Then you got the snowboard, you got the downhill, you got the Super G, you got the moguls. I'm going to say that they are using 8 billion gallons of water.
Man, I'm going to feel so insignificant here. It says 49 million gallons. I
Really?
thought the same thing. I was like, that's not much. That's almost as much as in my bathtub, right?
That doesn't
That's
seem enough at all.
That's how much in the pool.
That does not seem like a lot.
It doesn't seem like a lot. So it said 49 million gallons that they'll use for the game, but they do have.
And I went 8 billion.
Yeah, I think you were 80 billion. You were like, you're
How
little
much
bit over.
So I guess the question is, how much snow does 1 gallon make? It must make a ton of snow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
either.
Well, obviously it makes more than like a gallon's worth, right? I know it fluffs into each little, hydrogen molecule goes out and something sticks to it. So each one of them are flying out.
Right, but let's just say, so 1 gallon. Let's just say, what do you think? 3 square feet?
A yard?
A yard? I don't know.
I
have no idea. I have no idea. All right.
I'm going to find that out. Find out how much a gallon. So I have access to a snow machine.
Okay.
So we should try this.
We should try. We're going to take 1 gallon of water. I mean, as soon as we go off the air, we're not going to do it. So
no. But I have access to a snow machine. It's brand new, never been used. And the guy asked me if I wanted to buy it, and I was thinking I should. I didn't know what I wanted it for, but now
tell him you want to test it.
I got to test it out. He'll let me test it out. We have no problem with that.
Why does someone in Florida have a snow?
It's a long story. It's not that interesting. He's a good time guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
For children's parties, that kind of thing.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know
either. I don't know either.
I'm gonna try it out.
I'm going. Question number 2. How many consecutive
snow machine?
And how much snow does a gallon make?
Well, we'll get there. We'll try it out first. See what
All right. All right. So New Zealand's Nick Willis ran a sub 4-minute mile for a record number of consecutive years. How many years do you think he ran it?
He asked me a question one more time. I was getting a message here, a very vital message about our podcast. So ask me this again, please.
Nick Willis of New Zealand has run a sub 4-minute mile for a record number of consecutive years. How many years do you think that is?
What year did Roger Bannister break the 4-minute mile? Is it 50s?
I was going to say 56 or something. I was going to say 52. So if you're saying 56, yeah.
No, I'm guessing. That was a guess. So I'm guessing he started very close after that. He just did it again.
He just did it this year. It's a lot of years to run sub 4. I mean, God.
So we don't know when he started, so we've got to figure that out. So he's 23, would have been. He ran the first one in.
I don't know what year he ran the first one. I'm asking.
I know that's what. No.
Okay,
this is not a question. This is me trying to figure out. I'm making a statement. He ran the first one in 1979.
Okay.
And so 89, 99, 09, 19, that's 40, 44 years, 43 years.
So let's just say
that would put him at, he did the first one when he was 17 years old, 18 years old. that put a 53. That puts him at 61, 62 years old.
To run a sub 4-minute mile.
Not possible.
I don't. I mean, I guess it is, but my number is going to seem dwarfed now and not very impressive now that you said that. But
it's going to be like 20 years, isn't it?
It's 20 years.
Yeah. I got the guy doing it from the 70s. Jesus. He's 71 years old riding a 4-minute mile. And I did calculations in my head. You saw I had fingers out.
I know you did. I know. I was
hard,
very impressed. You were trying really hard on that one. That might have been the longest that you did it. Okay, so
what did I hit? I hit the nail on the head last week with one. What I say? I can't remember even what it was.
Asking, I'm not going to remember. I don't know.
But it was like exact, and it was ridiculous. So somebody's got to go back and listen to that one.
Somebody at some point will listen to that podcast.
That'll
verbal
tell us.
Diarrhea that we put out every week.
So we talked about curling. It's your favorite sport.
Favorite sport.
It's by far your favorite sport, except for the Skeletor, apparently.
It's skeleton.
Yeah, I like Skeletor. It would.
They've
got a marketing problem.
You should be able to call it whatever you want. And do you dress up in a blue suit like
oh yes,
that's how they should do it. Definitely,
Skeletor.
That's how you should do it. You should have to dress up.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. We talked about curling. What year was curling invented? When did they start curling?
Oh man,
what year do you think that would be?
Man, I want to say they've probably been doing that in like Ireland for a long time, but I
think it's Ireland. Is that what you think?
Nah, I don't know.
Seems like something.
No, it's got to be like
Czechoslovakia.
It's got to be like Norway or Sweden or yes, Czech. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 1901.
I don't have a date for you.
Isn't that what the question was?
Yes. I didn't know there wasn't a date though. It's here's how I do it. I come up with a question and then I have to go scramble to find the answer. There's no answer to it. Basically, there's no answer. So the best we've got, Dan. I'm glad you're finding humor in my pain. In my pain. So the best we have here is curling was originated in the 16th century in what country? You said it.
I did.
Yeah.
Norway.
Close. You said it. You said two. You said two countries.
Sweden.
You said Scotland.
Czechoslovakia. Oh, no way. Was it really in Scotland?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was originated in the 16th century in Scotland, which makes it one of the oldest team sports in the world. It's played on frozen ponds in the lochs and used curling stones from the regions of Perth and Stirling.
I wonder how they actually moved. Like they just took a rock out of the mountain and they're just like, let's just slide it on the ice, see how far it goes.
Dude, you got nothing else going on. There's no Netflix. There's no, you can't binge watch things. What else are you going to do? It's
oh
cold.
My God. What did people do before wasting hours and hours a day doing
Netflix
on Netflix,
hey,
on Facebook, on Instagram?
What's the game, the word Wordle? Do you know what Wordle is?
I've heard it, and I heard your people at work saying it. Did you do the Wordle today? I have no idea what it is.
Hey, it's some sort of game, but anytime you go on the Facebook machine and just want to casually look and see what your friends are doing, they're all playing this game and they have to post their score from the game. I don't care about your score from your Wordle game. I want to know, here's a good app, an app that would block everybody that posts their Wordles. You post a Wordle, you get snap blocked forever. Stop posting your Wordles.
Can we also do it with people posting food, what they're eating? I don't care.
I don't mind that one as much because I like food and I like Rika, and we'd have to ban Rika.
How about this? I have a big problem with this. The Olympics I hold to a high standard, right? So they have Lindsey Vonn on the other day to do an interview in the studio. What does she have with her? I know you're a big dog person. She's sitting there with the freaking dog on her lap doing a legitimate interview for the Olympics. The dog sitting there with his tongue out of his mouth. And I just wanted to smack that thing.
Is it her dog?
Yes.
Is it her dog?
Yes. There's a time and place for animals.
Come on.
And NBC Sports during the Olympics or CBS is not one of them.
Oh, damn. How about now, Dan? Look at that. That's why you get a dog, baby. There's nothing but love right there. Don't mess with the dog.
That's more Dale. Kisses than you've had in a while, buddy.
This is all the action I'm getting over here, baby. Look at that. He loves that. He loves this. See, Dan? That's Dan. There you go. Go back. Yeah, I got you. But so let me ask you this: was she in her home?
No, she was in the studio.
Yeah, there's something kind of obnoxious about that.
I
got you. Was it a little lap dog, a little like a schnauzer thing?
No, it was I don't know what kind of dog it was, but it was probably at least a 30-pound dog.
Okay, so it wasn't just this little we put in our purse or put in our Louis Vuitton dog. It was a dog of substance.
Yes.
A dog that could possibly tear some skin on your arm.
It could tear skin on your arm.
This is what we're getting at. I know now you're annoyed because a dog attacked you.
No. I'm annoyed annoyed because I hold the Olympics to the
Bob
certain
Costas
criteria.
Standard.
Yes. And
pink-eyed
you're
Bob
not
Costas.
You're not bringing your effing dog onto the show.
Yeah, I'd be offended if I set my dog up here and he licked my face the whole time. It wouldn't be fair to the viewers.
You know what the problem is? Because then as the interviewee, if you don't acknowledge the dog, then you're probably being seen as rude from Lindsay. So then you need to act like you give a crap about the dog when you really don't.
I've got to admit that you've got a dog on you. Do you understand there's a dog on you? You understand that? We all
sitting on your lap. We
see it. We see that dog. Why'd you bring a dog here? Have some respect.
Anyway,
who did she date? Who was she dating?
She was dating somebody
Tiger.
Famous? She dated.
That's
Tiger
right. That's right. She's
dating
Tiger. Is Tiger?
Tiger moved on. He wanted to go back to the Waffle House.
What? What are you talking about?
What? You don't know one of his mistresses that he had was a waitress at the Waffle House?
Oh, bet he got that grand slam, didn't he?
Oh, he got the grand slam.
Is that the Waffle House or Denny's? I don't even know. I think it's Denny's.
I
don't eat it either one. He's got that grand slam, though, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. I'm going with my third question. Simon Laporte has set the record for the longest active run streak in Canada. He started his streak back in
1979.
You're close. Well, hey. All right. How many years do you think? How many years do you think he's been running every single day consecutively?
How many does he have a minimum? I mean, does to the refrigerator and back count?
It doesn't say.
He's in Canada. It could be going to the outhouse. That's how they do. That's how they roll up there.
I know it doesn't say it. He's a run streaker, so I'm assuming he's probably at least right. You'd have to run at least a mile, I think, for it to count, right?
Yeah, it's just you gotta have some standards, some bottom standards. My standards are very low. I think I'm going back with the 42 years, man. I was wrong last time.
You're close.
Yeah.
46 years. You started in 75. You were going with 79. Started in 75. He's
damn it. I had 75 on my tongue.
He's
the Big Red Machine, 1975. He watched the Cincinnati Reds, and he said, "I'm going to go start running."
There you go. Anyway, so the record is 52.7 years is the record. That's a long time of running every single day.
Yeah, I wonder would the Guinness Book would they recognize that as a record?
I mean, I don't know because
There's
back
just
in
no way to prove that.
back in 75, there's no Strava, there's no training people. What are
No,
you
there's
doing?
no.
You're just saying, yeah, I ran.
10 years ago, you couldn't prove it. He put an ankle monitor on him like he's a criminal. Yeah, I don't know if they would recognize that. I think there's just no way to prove that. He
So
said he started in 75. Let's give him a Guinness Book of Record.
so you're basically the record. You're running 19,000 straight days.
That's exhausting. I'm tired. 19,000 straight days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think he. My dad had a streak. I need to ask him about that. My dad had some surgery today, so keep him in your thoughts there.
Well, as we're keeping people in your thoughts, weren't you supposed to give a shout out to somebody on air today? I think I thought I saw something on Facebook that you were supposed to be giving a shout out to somebody.
I don't know. Am I?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, now you're going to make me look it up. I was hoping you came prepared.
Did I tell them that?
Sandy Park, shout out to your niece, Rich. So give her a shout out.
Oh, shout out to Mia. My niece. My niece is a gymnast. And when I say she's a gymnast, you think, she's, I don't know how old she is, 11, something like that. You think she's pretty good. She went to a meet, 2 meets in a row. She went to a meet 2 weeks ago in Tallahassee. People came from all over the country, and she won. She swept everything. She's like this big. She's tiny. And she swept everything. Went to one in Daytona last week. People came from all over the country. And now I think she's like legit ranked 4th in the country. Not even for like her age group, like for youth gymnasts. She's had like
crazy.
a 9.85 or 9.9 or something like that. And I think she's ridiculously good. And when your sister and your mom say, "Hey, she's good at this," you're like, "Yeah, she can walk on a balance beam." Yeah, but you don't really know. I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur of of kids gymnasts, but apparently she's very good. Very, very good.
Well, she must be. So obviously,
very,
Sky's been big into that show Cheer. I don't know if you on Netflix that they have.
Okay.
It's following, I don't know, some college, and they, it's behind the scenes. So is she going to do that? She's going to try to go to college and be one of those cheer people, or is she going to be a legitimate like hardcore gymnast? I want to go to the Olympics.
I don't know. And I don't think that they have any hopes or aspirations for that. And we'll obviously see how that develops. Things develop a lot between the time you're, 11 years old and whatever, the time you got to go to college. But I don't think they know where her ceiling is, where you know what I mean? So they don't know where her cap is. She's a little tiny. She's from China. They adopted her from China. And, so of course she's a good gymnast. No,
we don't pigeonhole anybody on the Dan Gets Rich podcast.
Here's one thing. She works very, very hard. She's never doesn't smile. She's happy. She understands how blessed she is for the opportunity to be here in such a great country. And she works her little tiny butt off.
Well, good.
So good.
Hopefully she continues to do so. I think when you see success when you're younger, it drives you a little bit more to continue that success. And obviously it gets harder as you go up there. So good. I hope she stays focused on it. And, anytime someone has, that level of talent or natural talent that they have, you always want to see them work that to the best of their ability.
Yeah, I mean, nobody in our real family's doing that crap. We had to go get one. None of our genes is doing that.
Hey, I'm going to throw a bonus question at you.
Yeah, let's go.
Because I was looking at crazy running records. So, what do you think the record is for number of consecutive Boston Marathon finishes?
22. Oh no, it's higher than that. Got to be higher than that. Finishes.
Consecutively. So there's a difference. There's one that has finishes and there's one that's consecutive. They're two different numbers, but
I feel like the guy that does the race runs it every year, and he's got a long streak. I feel like he's one of the long ones. So I don't really know. I'm going to say consecutively. I'm going to say 31 years.
Okay.
It's higher.
It's higher. 54.
54 years consecutively.
Yep. Ben Beach ran his first Boston Marathon in 1967 when he was 18. This year, he completed his 54th consecutive Boston Marathon, and he ran a 5:47. That's pretty legit.
5:47. So he ran his first one when he was 18. What did you say? 19? 18. So I can do math. We're at 72 years old.
There you go.
That's impressive. You'll be running Boston. Does he have to still qualify, or are you just they're like, is he in?
No, you got to qualify every year.
No, he's in every year. He's not qualifying.
No.
What are they going to do? Say Ben Beach. Ben, come here. We got to talk. Sorry you didn't make it this year.
You didn't make it this year.
Nah, Ben, he's not taking that.
Yes, he is. He's going to. No, he respects the qualifying standards.
He'll Joe Benoit his ass. He'll hop on the train. He'll run it. He'll make sure this happens. It's man, that's an amazing stat. I think that, like I said, I think the guy who's the race director for the race runs it every year. I don't know. I could be making this up, but I feel like
no, he does. He puts on it and then he runs it after. I think.
Oh, that's right. He runs it after the fact, after it's all over, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
It's
all coming back to me now. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Yeah, so I think we may maybe discuss that. I don't remember what we talked about in the first 20 minutes here. I really don't.
I don't remember what we talked about 5 minutes ago.
I have no idea.
All right, but I know it's time for us to wrap this up, buddy. We've been on for an hour 20. I assure you nobody's listening anymore because we've just been babbling on. Haven't really talked about much of anything of substance, about things that we hate and things that we don't and things that we like. So are you going to check out any of the Olympics for the rest?
Yeah,
I think we have it till the 20th, I think.
It's on channel 30, so you get it on the little local channel. So I need to go downstairs. We don't get channel 30 on the rabbit ears upstairs for some reason. I feel like we are.
I'm going to come over and I'm going to buy you a TV and just bring it over to you.
We have televisions. We have televisions in here. We just don't feel like paying for cable. So I guess we can get it online, right? We have the Apple TV. Can I find it on there?
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
We just don't watch television, man. It's just very rare. Very rare.
Well, you're a very busy person. You're a very important person.
Really. I'm so not important. So not important.
Listen, you're on 16 text threads about pickleball. You're a very important person.
In the pickleball world, I'm really big deal.
I'm a big deal in the pickleball world.
It doesn't take much. Hey, Dan, I've enjoyed this, man. Nice talking to you. It's always nice to talk to you. I hope you have a good week. I hope things are going well. I really, really, really do like that haircut. You're looking sharp. You're looking good, man.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. It's early in the week. By the time you get to the end, I'm going to have the bags under my eyes. My hair's going to be all disheveled. It'll be a little bit more gray by the end of the week. So I do appreciate it. When you tune in next time, we'll officially be on season 4. So we can announce that at the beginning. So thanks so much for being on, Rich, buddy. Good seeing you. Love getting that text from you this morning, yesterday. Ready to roll? I was like,
let's go.
Oh, Rich is in this week. Let's
go. All right, Dan. Thanks, buddy.
See ya. Bye.